Right, okay, welcome back. Now that we have some keywords, we have about 85 in total, I believe, from our last download in the Google AdWords Keyword Planner. We're now going to look at those keywords in a little bit more detail. I like to do it in a spreadsheet because it keeps everything very clean and easy to understand. Google Keyword Planner has played its part. It's given us a list of possible keywords that we could use to target so that the articles and descriptions, if it's products and things that we write and the content that we have on our website, could include these words to help rank them higher in Google. As you'll remember, before I go on, just to recap, the reason we do this is so that we can include these words in certain places in our articles, so that when people are searching online for these, we improve our chances of having our results in the first page of Google, which will then increase the amount of organic traffic to your website. Now, the reason we're doing this is so that you can get as much organic traffic to your website as possible, whether it's a blog, whether it's an e-commerce store and you're selling things, whatever the reason you have a web presence, and however that web presence is, whether it's a blog or a website, whatever you have, it's always good to increase the amount of organic traffic you have, because it's likely that if you are a business, then you'll be using paid methods, but really organic traffic's free. And this is, something that for a lot of people, you won't just rely on, but it's a very nice bonus to have. So we're going to look at this in more detail now. What I have here in front of me is the data that's been downloaded from the Keyword Planner. I'm just going to tidy it up a little bit to make it easier for you guys to see in the video. All right. I'm going to, first of all, expand the size a little bit, just so that you can see everything better. That should be easier for you now. Now, there's some columns that I'm going to get rid of. First of all, the currency. I don't need that for this. The average monthly searches, yes, we need this. This is important. Competition and suggested bid, I'm going to keep in there. Impression share, organic impression share, and organic average position, I'm going to delete because we don't need that. In account, in plan, this is to do with AdWords and extracted from, they can go as well. Okay, so these are the keywords that we have. I'm going to highlight this column because these are the actual keywords. This tells us whether it was a seed keyword or a keyword idea. We're going to keep that just so that we can remember the ones that we put initially. The average searches per month. This is also very useful because this is what we're going to be using to determine how popular a word is. The competition. This is something that if it's 1, it's considered high competition, and it goes down the lower the number, the digit there, so 56, you could say that's 50% if 1 is 100% of high competition. 32 would be low competition. So these are the competition guidelines. I don't really use these so much, but I'm going to keep them there just to see if these numbers are in any way in line with the amount of searches that people get. And the suggested bid here, finally, this is the amount of money that Google would suggest that you would pay per click, or be willing to pay if you had it in your AdWords plan. Again, it's not something we need to focus on so much because we're not using AdWords, but it's something that we can keep in there just to see if the information correlates. So now we've got our selection. I'm just going to highlight all of that. Problem is I'm used to using a PC, so on a Mac, I'm not as nimble, I'm afraid. Okay, so we can see this now. I'm going to sort this by how many searches it gets. Now, the reason I want to do that is because I want to see the busiest keywords right the way down to the ones that get the less traffic. The reason for this is because I would generally focus on the keywords that generate the higher amount of searches first and then focus on the others, because really the aim of this is to get as much traffic as possible. So it makes sense to target the keywords that generate the most searches. Now, I said to you that I was going to filter anything out under 2000, over 2000 was going to be filtered out. So that would include these keywords here. Now, because we've got 85 words, and because these were the seed keywords, I am actually going to highlight these as a different color, just so we know that generally speaking, we wouldn't normally target these straight away. So the first seed keyword we've got here is 1,600 searches a month, and that is baseball accessories. So one thing we could do, if we were going to write an article and we wanted to have this as our main keyword, we could write an article about the most necessary baseball accessories for the new season. And within that, we could talk a lot about baseball glove with links to our product pages. And you can start to get an idea of how we could include this. What you need to do when you look at these keywords is think about how you could use them as part of an article or within a description of a product that you would have on your blog. So using the baseball glove as an example, I've got keywords here directly related to baseball gloves. Now, I'm going to be on my blog writing about baseball gloves with lots of information leading to product pages. So, for example, if we took this one here, I like the look of this one because the competition is low and the suggested bid is low. Now, this for me indicates that there's not a lot of people looking for this keyword or typing baseball glove size into Google. You get 1,000 searches a month, but there's not many other people targeting this keyword compared to baseball glove chair, for example, which is a higher competition word. So baseball glove size, 1,000 searches a month. And this is something we could easily write an article on. We could easily write an article out the various sizes. We could use a chart showing the different sizes from kids sizes up to adult sizes. We could include the most common size. We could do ladies' glove sizes if they're any different. There's a whole range of things we could write, and we could target baseball glove size. And what you're trying to do by this is include everybody who searches for baseball glove size. Then in the Google results or Bing results, our page comes up on the first page. It gets a click. People who are looking at baseball glove sizes generally are looking because they want to buy a baseball glove, and it improves the chances of you making a sale. This is why we're focusing on these words. So I'm going to go through these and highlight any that seem particularly good. And I'm going to highlight them in a nice green colour like that. It doesn't hurt our eyes too much. So baseball glove size. This is a really good one. Best use baseball glove. I'm going to highlight this because it's a long tail keyword. It's four words that make the long tail keyword. And this is something that you could write a review on a certain product. And you could write, okay, what is the best youth baseball glove? Review 5 different baseball gloves, write about them, links to the product page, and there you go. You've got a great article that gets 720 searches a month. And while you might think, well, there's millions of people living in America, which was where we got our data from, 720 doesn't seem a lot. But by doing this, you're actually going to be targeting other keywords as well. Because although best youth baseball glove is the long tail keyword that we're looking at, if you look at this, we've actually got baseball glove in there, which is a keyword versus baseball glove here. And you can see here, baseball glove. So this, looked at as a keyword, is worth 6,600. Youth baseball glove, I'm sure will be in here somewhere. There you go. Youth baseball glove, 480. So what you're actually doing is combining the keywords that you've got by having one long tail keyword. And this is one of the main benefits of using long tail keywords. It doesn't just take that as one keyword. It looks at combinations. Youth baseball glove, best youth baseball glove. They're all in there. So what you're doing here is you're actually increasing the amount of traffic that you're going to be getting, not just for that keyword, but for others as well. This is the one benefit I would strongly suggest that you go on using long tail keywords for, among others. Now, what I'm going to do is go through this list and pick some others that I could instantly think of an article that I could write. Wilson baseball glove. I could easily write about the 3 best-selling Wilson baseball gloves. Breaking in a baseball glove. We've talked about this already. This is something that 590 people are searching for. Very low competition. I think it's probably quite easy to rank for. And these are keywords we could perhaps check against when we use Longtail Pro, because it will actually tell us much more information about who is currently trying to rank for these keywords. I'm going to select 10 in total, and these would be the 10 that I use for my first 10 articles as my main keywords. In section 3, we're going to look at how to use these keywords properly to increase your chances of ranking higher in the search engines. But up until this point, what you should now have are the tools and the knowledge to write a list of seed keywords, go into the keyword planner tool with your seed keywords for whatever topic you're using. Start off with a much broader amount of keywords and then dwindle it down to, I said 50, but if you can get between 50 and 100, that's not too bad either. Download them and then start looking for keywords that you think you could easily write articles on. One thing to remember in the keyword planner that you can use is the choose only closely related results if you get a large number to begin with, and that will give you ones that are very, very closely matched to your seed keywords. Now, that's one of the reasons why it's very important with your seed keywords to write down the words that you believe are closely related to the topic or the niche that you're actually working within. Because then that way, when you do the search for closely related items, you're going to get much more relevant results. Okay, so that concludes the Google AdWords training. I hope you found it useful. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or ask questions in the section within Udemy that you can actually do that, and I'll be there to answer them for you. Now, just as a final note, there is a lot more in-depth things you can do with the keyword planner tool that I haven't covered today. Really, this is aimed at beginners to get you started and to show you how to get some keywords and analyze the data for the keywords that are suggested in the first instance. Like I said, you could go much more in depth, and the Longtail Pro tool that we're going to look at in a later video shows you much more detail. But to begin with, one of the most important things about having a blog or a website is to take action and start doing stuff. So this really gives you everything you need so that you can start taking action and start getting stuff done. See you in the next video.